Welcome back to Brick by Brick. So we're going to be doing a hypothetical matchup. In this case, it's going to be between the current governor of California, Governor Gavin Newsom, on the Democratic side. And then on the Republican side, we will be going with J.D. Vance, the current vice president. So I've already got all of the safe, likely, lean, and there are two tilt states. This is based on the 2024 election results, aside from the swing states that I put back into toss-up. But I do think that this would be a reasonable start. It does look it does look a lot better for the Republicans than the Democrats at the get-go. But I will just go through each of these swing states because really they are the ones that will decide the presidency. So I'm going to start out on the West Coast and then just move towards the East. So I will start out. We have the blue coast there, the Pacific coast of Oregon, Washington, and California. Those are almost certainly going to be in the Democratic column. Then we get to the first swing state, that being the state of Nevada. And I think there are a lot of factors at play. I'm going to go over to this Economist article. Trump's approval is currently at about -15. This is the chart from Obama, Biden, Trump's first term, and Trump's second term that it is currently going. So as you can see, not a great position to be in. This is by The Economist. And when Trump was elected for the second time, he had an approval rating on inflation, jobs in the economy, immigration, and crime. He did not on healthcare. Healthcare went to, I guess it just didn't go to Trump. But since then, it has dipped in pretty much every category. On inflation/prices, he was above water by, looks like, about 6 or 7 points. And now he is down to getting near -30, so 28 or so. But as you can see, not a great place for Trump to be. And I should note that Trump is not going to be able to run for re-election because this is his final term. There have been discussions that Vance would run for president and Trump would be vice president and then he would hand the reins over. But I don't see a super likely situation where that happens. I think it would be pretty questionable. But with that in mind, we'll get going with these swing states. I do think that Newsom would have some geographic proximity benefits to the state of Nevada. In Nevada, it has been willing to vote for Republicans. It has a Republican governor and did back Trump in 2024. But I just don't know if J.D. Vance will have that same populist appeal that Trump had that was so critical in winning over key voting demographic groups like Hispanic Americans, and which will prove crucial, especially in the Southwest here in Arizona and Nevada. So if I had to call it, I'd probably go with a tilt blue rating for Nevada. And then in Arizona went to Trump by the biggest margin in 2024. So it would have to take a lot to get it out of the Republican column for J.D. Vance. I think that he will fairly easily, maybe not fairly easily, but I think that it would be reasonable to assume that he would win Arizona by a tilt margin. Then we get to the Southeast, the other half of the Sun Belt here. We'll start with Georgia. I do think Georgia and North Carolina would probably be a similar story. I will get back to the congressional district there in Nebraska, but I do think it's possible that Newsom could win Georgia. I've gone back and forth. Usually I have him winning, but I've just heard a lot in the comments that many of you aren't very prominent on thinking that, aren't very agreeable and thinking that Georgia will go to Gavin Newsom. So for now, I'll put it in Vance's column. And then we'll go up now to the district here in Omaha. Both Nebraska and Maine have an interesting system where they do electoral college votes by congressional district. So this second district here in Nebraska is kind of in the Omaha and surrounding area. And I do think that I might even be willing to give that as a lean. But for now, I'm just going to go with tilt. I think these swing states will just be tilt. And that will be in Gavin Newsom's column. So one more vote there. And for Vance, he would just need to win one of these 3 Rust Belt states. And I do think that the most likely outcome at the moment is that they would vote together and would probably end up in the Democratic column. I do think if Newsom were to win all three of these, it would probably result in a Georgia victory too. But for now, we're going to go with a difference between those two and show a largely red Sun Belt with a blue Rust Belt. I do think in the next couple decades in elections that will slowly switch, but Republicans have proven they're able to win, well, Trump at least, able to win in the Rust Belt, and Democrats have proved, like Biden was able to win in Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia, and Democrat hasn't won on the presidential level in North Carolina since '08, but the other three states definitely proved to be a fighting chance. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.